Good evening, all. I am Dikshaa Kalarickal, a German student from Sathaye College. We all are here for the program Opportunities and Courses in German Language. A warm welcome to our guest, Dr. Girissha Tilak, our principal, Dr. Madhav Rajwade sir, Vice Principal, Dattatreya Nerkar sir, Pramodini Sawant ma'am, Assistant Principal, Vinod Gaware sir, Supervisor, Anjali Sawant ma'am, and Narendra Kishan sir. This cultural head Jayashree Gaikwad ma'am, cultural coordinator Gautam Tinkare sir, Sameer Jadhav sir, Shamla Gaware ma'am, Shrikant Nehete sir, and all other respective teachers and students. I would like to introduce our guest, Dr. Girissha Tilak. She is an assistant professor at the Department of German Mumbai University since 2013. So now I will let Pradnya ma'am to take over.
Guten Abend. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pradnya Samel, German teacher at Sathaye College. So, before we begin, I would like to request our principal sir, Dr. Madhav Rajwade sir, to speak a few words.
Yeah, hello, and thank you, Mrs. Samel, for organizing this particular program. On behalf of Politic Vidyalaya Association, Sathaye College, I have great pleasure in welcoming Dr. Tilak from the Department of German, University of Mumbai. We have our college very strong association with university, and this gives me great pleasure to welcome you, ma'am, because we are an affiliated college, and in many ways, in different departments, we have association in different subjects. But German, though, is not our graduate subject at the junior college level, we are quite active, as you can see. Our teachers, students are trying to do whatever they can to promote this particular language. Dear students, I want to assure you that as a college, we are interested in languages, even though I note with little bit of sadness that students don't seem to be interested in languages because we believe in restoration and primacy of languages, all languages, be it Indian languages, be it foreign languages, be it Indian languages in their full diversity. We have all language departments functioning in a very efficient manner. Take Marathi, take Hindi, English, of course, and Sanskrit is very strong in our college. And in the same manner, French and German. So any language, I believe, is a window to our mind. And the best we should do is to cultivate interest in any particular language and try to master at least one. I think we are doing a great job by instilling interest in these young students in this particular language that is German, which was at one point of time a very, very dominant language in the continent of Europe in every possible way. It was even the language of empire and also the language of thought in many ways. My subject is physics, so I cannot forget Albert Einstein, who wrote a major all his papers in German language. And this year, madam, I wanted to inform Dr. Tilak that we had very good lecture series in the honor of Rupanya Tilak, who also had very good association with German language and in a way had good collaboration with people of his time. So in short, today's program has all this setting, all this context, and I want students to appreciate that our college in this particular manner attaches value, importance to the subject which they are studying. And I hope that they take it forward and give some credit to the teachers who are working so much for them. I wish you all the best and welcome again, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let's start with the discussion. So Girissha, can you tell us how you started with German?
Yes, before starting to that, I would like to thank Sir and Sathaye College to invite me at this function or for the presentation. Pradnya, especially to you too. We have been colleagues for a very long time. And it's my pleasure to be here and give some information regarding German as a foreign language or German as major language. Well, you asked me how my journey began with German. As I was in 11th standard, I started learning German as a foreign language, but as a hobby. And I liked the language very much, so I got into it, and slowly I took admission to, at my time it was G1, G2, G3, M1, M2, M3. These were the levels of German at Goethe Institute. In Mumbai, we call it as Max Muller Bhavan. So I did all my language courses there, and I got to know the possibility of doing masters in German language. So then I slowly joined University of Mumbai in year 2008. And since then, from 2008, I have been affiliated with Department of German, University of Mumbai, first as a student, then as a research scholar for doctoral studies, and then, of course, as a during the research scholar or doctoral studies, I started teaching at the department for part-time and later on for full-time courses. So is it okay? I'll just share my screen for a small presentation about the department also. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
So I'm very proud to be associated with this institution. It has been an oldest center of German studies in India since 1913. And yes, we have completed 100 years of teaching German in Mumbai. So Department of German, we offer full-fledged academic research programs, and we conduct full-time degree programs in German studies, in Chinese, as well as part-time programs in German, Japanese, and Marathi. So all our programs, may it be part-time or full-time, are research and job-oriented. And of course, the emphasis is on German language competency, translation, and courses on teaching German as a foreign language. Pradnya.
Okay. Can you tell something more about the part-time courses?
Yes, sure. So see, part-time courses, we have every time one starts with a beginner's level and then the intermediate level, and then one goes on to the advanced level. There are three ways to enter or to start with the beginner's level. One is full beginner's course certificate in German, A1. It is of 120 hours. Or one could do short-term course. It is a quicker course. One finishes the course very soon because it is every day in a week. On the other hand, certificate, this course is only on Sundays. We have also divided the course into three parts. This course takes place in the evening so that people who are working or are attending colleges can also attend this course. And of course, it is broken in three parts, and it is a short-term course. So it does not go long for a year. It is covered within a short duration of maybe 3 to 4 months. After finishing the certificate course, that is level 1, A1, one goes to intermediate level of diploma. Here we cover Arts-Y, A2, and it is of 150 hours. And this course takes place on Sundays. Then next year onwards, we are planning to have advanced diploma in 3 levels. So we'll go for B1, so advanced diploma 1, advanced diploma 2, and advanced diploma 3. So it would cover B1, B2, and C1. After finishing advanced diploma, one can do diploma in commercial and technical translation and tourism in German. So over here, the language competency is B2+. So one can do the professional course which is offered for translation, and tourism. It is quite interesting to study this course because we directly get into the career world.
Okay, good. And this was about the part-time courses. So what are the full-time courses? Can one do the specialization in German from Mumbai University?
Yes, one can do specialization in German. One can do bachelor's in German, so BA, and one can do later on MA. For BA, it is not required to do one does not need a prior knowledge of German. One can directly get into BA in German studies. And of course, we have all various subjects. I'll come to that later. So once we finish BA, and then students have a possibility to do MA in German studies with specialization in culture studies or translation. So talking about our program specific objectives, so on completing the programs in German studies, may it be BA or Masters at the University of Mumbai, the graduates or the postgraduates are able to attain sound domain knowledge and competence in German studies. So they focus on proficiency in German language, they are good at German literature because they have had read quite a few literary novels or text during the course, and culture because we go in depth with the German culture, and of course students are promoted to do research. Even during BA as well as in MA, we have papers for translation and teaching skills. So it is not only learning, people also get to teach, or people learn or are career oriented. So it is a professional training which is offered during our BA as well as our MA courses. So it is very much important to, in this global village right now, to be competent with whatever skills we are acquiring. So for industry, for government, everywhere a creative individual is required, and this is what we try to build when teaching. So the teaching is to develop the communication skills, the soft skills, also the professional skills. People work in teams, so we have many tasks or activities during the course which are team oriented or group oriented. So people work in teams. So people, I mean here students. People also become socially and ethically responsible citizens. Why do we say so? Because during our program, we have one SUPW, so socially students are engaged in a social work. They work for a semester for a good cause. And then, of course, it is very necessary for them to realize that, yes, we are a social citizen also. So this is also what we offer. I would like to talk about the discussions and the critical thinking which we have during the courses. So even for part-time lectures, even for full-time lectures, there is a lot of critical thinking. Students are provoked to think, to ask questions, why is it so? And debates and discussions takes place during our lectures. So it is not a frontal lecture, it is also always a give and take. We use, of course, multimedia for e-learning, and right now, because of the pandemic situation, everything is online. So every teacher is well equipped with all digital tools, and e-learning is going in full-fledged. Paper presentations, seminars, workshops take place on regular intervals or regular basis at the department, where students themselves participate actively, not only in attending but also organizing the seminars. So I see here few students who have actively participated in organizing this particular workshop. So similarly, we also do such things that students are actively participating in organization of the workshops also. So once students go out of the department, it is not like what kind of world are we in. We know how to carry ourselves in the globally competent world. We also have teachers training. So students are trained to be teachers how to teach German as a foreign language. So that is one of a very important thing. While learning a language, it also offers you a career opportunity to teach German as a foreign language. There is constant interaction with visiting faculty and German speaking scholars, because there are trainees and faculty coming down to India. And right now, because of the online scenario, of course, we have online workshops where students get to interact with German natives. Yes, this is one of the good point that students are encouraged to participate in competitions, and also students who are good during the academic years, who are consistently good, they are given a scholarship to our partner university, about which I will talk in a short while. So they get to spend one semester or 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months, depending on what kind of a scholarship they are getting. They spend this duration in Germany. So you can imagine how good it is to be in Germany, speak the language which you are learning, and experience the culture of what we have learned about. Study opportunities in Germany. Yes, DAAD is one of the organization which which organizes competitions, and our students also participate in these competitions. So it is not only the full-time courses students, but also part-time students participate in these competitions, and they get the possibility to attend a summer course in Germany. We at department offer history of art as one of the subject. So it is delight to eyes when one goes to Germany, and also one roams around in Mumbai itself, looking at the historical buildings and knowing what they are looking at. So field visits for art history in Mumbai we have, and we have a competent faculty to do that. And of course, hands-on training on live research projects. So at department, we have various projects going on, like Marathi language teaching project, where we are developing content and books, textbooks, workbooks, and CDs for learning Marathi as a foreign language. So those interested in learning Marathi, we have made series of level books 1 to 6 for learning Marathi. So students get an opportunity to work on the project. So they are part of a team. They generate the content. This is not only for the books, but also for the app book. So another live project which we have is Marathi app and German app. So students, you can imagine how it would be interesting to work on a live project to develop an app at the department. So it is very challenging as well as interesting to work on these projects. Earlier I mentioned about the partner universities. So these are the universities with whom we have collaborations. University of Göttingen in Germany, University of Freiburg, University of Frankfurt, and University of Wuppertal. So the students get an opportunity to spend 1 month to a semester at these universities related to the course they are doing. So it would be master's or doctoral scholar. Of course, our master students also get an opportunity to work, so to do an internship in various firms as a part of their project during master's program. So we have had a very good experience of students working at a firm and getting first-hand experience to how to actually work. So it is not, as I already said, it is not only learning, but also getting some experience, some first-hand experience. And it's a part of growing up. So it's a good experience to be doing so. Yes, the department has, of course, a multimedia room with internet facility. So without internet, we cannot be anywhere right now. Department library houses around 5,000 books. So anyone who is doing BA, MA, or PhD are able to get in touch with all these books. We have, of course, modern equipment and media. So all the faculty who is teaching at the department have an access to the technology. and learn language effectively. So it is a really good thing to be a part of Department of German. And yes, one can also learn German elsewhere also, like you all are studying German. So it is not only Department of German where one can learn language. You are getting very good coaching here itself at your college. So colleges are a very good source of learning language. Maximula Bhavan, so which is worldwide known as Goethe Institute, it is also one more place, and there are very very good institutes in and around Mumbai or outside also to learn German as a foreign language. So this is a very good step that you all have taken to choose German, to learn another culture, another world is open to you all. So it is very interesting to know such things about another culture.
Great. So, Girissha, can you tell us the career avenues in German?
There are a lot of possibilities to what one can do after learning German. So I would like everyone to have a look at this once. So you can see here BPOs, KPOs, tourism, German banks, insurance companies, hotel management, translation, interpretation, embassies, consulates, teaching, and IT industry. So I would talk about firstly who is doing the specialization in German, not just German as a foreign language. Those who are doing specialization in German have very good possibility to start teaching German as a foreign language, or once one so one has to have at least B2 level of competency to start teaching German as a foreign language. Only then one is at home in this particular language. One has to be very comfortable while teaching. So teaching German as a foreign language is one option, or one can do bachelor's in German, master's in German, and then appear for NET or SET examination, so National Eligibility Test for lecturership. And after passing this exam, one gets the opportunity to teach German at the university. So the university can be anywhere in India, so one can join in as assistant professor at any university. Of course, nowadays PhD is a new criteria, so one has to do PhD or doctoral studies to become a professor. So please see to it that you always have a higher aim, because low aim is a crime. So always have higher aim and reach for higher education. So this is related to teaching. One can start teaching at university or any institutions which offer German as foreign language. Coming to tourism, one can become a tourist guide. So there are of course exams which one has to give in order to become a tour guide, and do a course of how a tour guide should behave, what role he or she has to do while giving out a guided tour, what kind of challenges one has to face, how one has to be always ready. So that study or that course one has to do in order to enter into the field of tourism. So of course one can be a tourist guide, or also work at the firm, like any tourism firms you must be knowing. So one can work or start a firm himself or herself. We are having one or two students who have started their own tourist companies, so tour agencies. So they also have their own tour companies to say. Then translation and interpretation, it is one of the major branch which a student does after having completed masters in translation. So specialization with translation studies. So there are legal translations, medical translations, sport translations, engineering translations, or all variety of translations. So one can work at any translation firm as a German translator. So it could be translation from English to German, German English. If you have any other knowledge of language, so if it is French, Japanese, Arabic, then you are very well qualified. You can translate from German to French, French to German, or Arabic to German, German, Arabic, Japanese, anything. So translation is one of the opportunities. One needs to have good contacts when one has to enter the translation business, or one can of course, approach, search on Google and approach any translation firms who are having vacancies. Interpretation is a verbal translation, so it has to be very spontaneous, and that happens one-on-one basis. I guess you must have seen a person saying one thing in possibly in German, and then there is an interpreter behind who interprets the whole whatever sentence the German person has said in English, and it is understood by everyone. So that is the role what interpreter plays. It is very challenging and very interesting to speak language dhar dhar so fast. So of course one has to be at home in both the languages while doing translation and interpretation. For interpretation, there are many cruises coming down to Mumbai, and they require tour guides as well as interpreters to have guided tours or to do interpretations. So not only for cruises, there are many trade fairs which take place in Mumbai. So there is a requirement by CEOs or people belonging to higher management from German firms to have interpreters. So one can act as an interpreter for such projects also. Of course, IT industry and hotel management are another on KPOs, BPOs. All these places, even German banks, insurance companies, they require German language experts because not everything happens in English, right? So they are, of course, always in need of German language experts who can help them to do the communication part, or at times they have a major role to play. So major companies are always in need of German language experts, and these are the openings. I would also name few companies who always are in need of German language experts. Of course, embassies and consulates are always in need of people who could work at German consulate. I have quite a few friends and students who have been working at German embassy and consulate and always getting some good reactions that they are now very happy in whatever they are doing. So these are quite a few opportunities when one is learning German, doing a specialization in German or learning German as a foreign language. Now, the second part would be if you're not interested to do specialization, but to do your specialization, I mean TYBA, TY, graduation, but doing commerce, or if you want to do graduation if you are a science graduate, then also German acts as an applied component where your CV is always heavier than a person not knowing a foreign language. So it is always good to know a foreign language, especially those who want to go to Germany for higher education. It is a must to know German. So those having German knowledge or any other foreign language knowledge is always good. The CV or the resume is higher in comparison to those who are not having any foreign language knowledge. So German or any other foreign language can always be a very good baseline for doing a career in other areas or other fields also. So medicine students, commerce students, or engineering students, most of them, even pharma students, most of them learn German as a foreign language because they have to go to to Germany for higher education, or it happens that they get a job at a German company because there are many companies from Germany here who have their base in Mumbai also, or Pune, or overall in India. So these students who have German knowledge get a first selection chance. So these are quite a few possibilities where students are recruited. So our BA and MA students have also been very, so they have been good to be selected by German Consulate, Goethe Institute, Siemens, Amazon, Aditya Birla Group, Google, Bosch, Volkswagen, Accenture, and Deutsche Bank, and many other. Of course, I cannot name all of them in one page. So there are many other firms where students get into, like Würth, etc. So I would, of course, like to answer any questions if you have.
Wow, Girissha, that was really an informative session, and that means all of them who are attending this session must feel the same. Yeah, and honestly speaking, after hearing this, I am feeling like to join the college once again. So now we'll come to the questions. I will read some questions from the chat box. I request all of you, if you have any questions, you can put in the chat box. There are 3 questions. I start. Veena Naik has a question. Is there age bar to avail opportunities about 60s avail?
You want to ask if one can learn language after 60? So, of course, anyone can learn language at any level, any age. So, learning language will not be a problem at all. And of course, one can do masters also. For example, when I was doing my masters, I had my co-student. He was 72 years old, and we were doing masters together. So you can imagine me and a 72-year-old student along with me. So language is never a criteria to study. So one can study, of course.
So about job opportunities, I have asked.
Job opportunities depends upon your language proficiency. So and also depends upon the institution. So if you're trying to work as a freelancing translator or interpreter, you can of course get a job possibility, because even teaching is also a job opportunity where you can teach even if you're 60 plus or 60.
Do you help the students to get these opportunities? Because 60 plus is odd one.
Pardon, could you repeat your question? Do you
help the students to avail these opportunities, because 60 plus is odd age, at least in India, the scenario?
We always get some or the other information, or we do not have a placement cell as such. But of course, there are inquiries which are coming to the department that we need a teacher or we are in need of a translator. Then of course we forward it to the students, and anyone who is interested, barring the age criteria, so age is not the criteria, so anyone who is interested can apply.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. The next question is there any possibility for course diploma in commercial technical translation and tourism online instead of offline?
Currently, this year, we are not having this course, Diploma in Commercial and Technical Translation, online. But I guess we would, if there is a good demand, we would be still looking for, there is quite a possibility that we will be offering the course of Diploma in Commercial and Technical Translation and Tourism online. So people who are staying outside can also avail for this course.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Why I'm asking, because currently I'm doing advanced diploma from Mumbai University right now, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
And I'm so much interested for this translation and tourism course. And I'm staying in Pune. That's why I asked this question.
Right. So there could be a possibility that we would be offering this course online next year.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That would be put up on the website, so you can keep a check on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and Veena Naik has once again the question about MA. Can we study MA online?
Currently, our MA course is online. Currently, for this batch, because of the pandemic situation, I would not know the permanent status of being online, but surely we could think about it, because even now we have students. We have students from Rajasthan and South India, so from various places who are doing masters in German right now. first year masters. So I hope we could continue, and even university has to agree with it. So it would not be our own solo decision. We would like to take it, but let's see how it happens. If it is there online, then of course it will be put up on the website so you can check it. So if you're interested, you can go for masters online.
Okay.
Then it will be B2 required or B1 will be sufficient?
B2. B2 is the criteria.
Okay, next question is from my 11th standard student, Nevidya Tedwilkar. She's saying, I am currently doing A1 German course from an institute, and further I want to do English literature. Is it possible for me to do German literature as well as English literature side by side in future?
I would rather, it is not possible to do two full-time courses simultaneously. You can do one part-time and another as full-time. So you may have to decide upon your priority on which literature you want to focus upon, English or German. German literature as such, we offer at advanced diploma level, but it is not very much in depth. So we just offer 5 texts and part-time courses. I'm not aware about English literature if there is any other possibility to learn English literature as a part-time course. But then, of course, you will have to prioritize with what you have to go ahead, because two full-time courses cannot be done together. One can do full-time plus part-time. The next question I see is, how can I get a job in Germany after BHM and German language, right? In order to get job in Germany, you will have to, I guess, first you can be a part of a German multinational here, one way, and then you get the post or you get transferred to Germany. That is one possibility. Another possibility, it is quite important for you to know German very well. You can do a course in Germany, and after you have finished the course, you can directly apply in Germany for the jobs.
Okay. Can I read the next question?
Yeah, I'm in 11th. You can, yeah, of course.
I'm in grade 11th. Currently, do we have to give our full time to the course as I am already aiming to become a chartered accountant?
Full time, if you're talking about learning a language learning would happen even if you concentrate, if it is you have joined any course or any class, then if you concentrate completely and you are very much motivated during that period, language learning can happen then and there itself. So you need not be 24 hours with the language which you are learning. You can, of course, watch some or the other thing for fun, maybe some web series, some cartoon series, or read quite a few things, newspapers, etc. So it will make you or let you be in touch with the language and increase your language potency, so that side by side you can also aim to be a chartered accountant, Savita. So you need not be a full-time student. Whenever you're studying, see to it that you're concentrating completely. And maybe 10 to 15 minutes or 20 minutes revision or some touch with the language every day, that would be sufficient. Ajinkya, you had a question.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry for one more question.
It's okay.
Yeah. Ma'am, basically, I have completed my post-graduation in commerce field this year and completed B1 level from Yuta Institute, and plus I am doing simultaneously advanced diploma from Mumbai University. And currently I am doing job which is related to German language. But I am more interested in teaching German, as I am teaching for A1 level as a basic. I am starting it, but I am more interested in that. But I want to know how can I do further with my teaching, because rather than doing MNCs in job, which is always related to German, but still more interest to teaching German language. So can you please help me in that?
I would would suggest that you complete your B2 and then participate in master's program which department is offering, so that you are well trained, and of course you have complete knowledge about the language, because masters offer all round development. So it is not only the language which you teach, it is not just ABCD and grammar, but also culture is imbibed into you unknowingly. Get to know many things which, while teaching German as a foreign language, you can use anytime. So if you have just done a language course and have started teaching German, it is of course good. But if you have a very good background or a staunch support of knowledge with Germany and German culture, Germany's history, etc., it will always give you a heavier hand when you're teaching, because it matters how much knowledge the teacher has when she or he is imparting even the basic German language. So it is very important that if you can complete B2 and do masters, then you can automatically get into teaching.
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
there is a paper on type how to teach German.
I have completed B2 course actually, but because of this pandemic situation, the exams are cancelled, and that's why I could not attend the examinations. And because I am MCOM, I cannot directly appear for net set examinations because I don't have German masters for commerce. That's the problem I have. That's why I asked this question.
Then if you are ready to invest 2 years in master's studies, then you can surely do it. Or if you are willing, then you can apply to any German university who is offering masters in didactics, German as a foreign language or German language teaching. Then you can apply there and go there and do masters from Germany itself.
Okay, thank you so much.
Tanvi has which is the best course in German language? Yeah. I did not get the question. The German language which is taught everywhere, it is the same thing. So if you are talking about the methodology or the teaching method or teaching, I guess it is again up to every person's priority of how one likes to learn a language. And as a beginner, one would never know how I would like to learn a language. So see, there are quite a few big names like Max Muller-Bhavan, which is Goethe Institute, called as worldwide. In India, it is called as Max Muller-Bhavan. And Mumbai University is also one of it. So you can do the course from anywhere you wish to. See to it that you have proper certification. So internationally recognized certification. So you can do a course and maybe give Max Muller exams so that you have proper certificate. And of course, there are quite a few people who ask me about, I want one-to-one attention. So then you can do for private learning also, where teachers would teach you. And you could give again the international examination, which is offered by Goethe Institute. So there is nothing as such which is the best course. The methodology which we follow at Department of German and the method which Max Muller-Bhavan both are following would be the communicative integrated approach. So it is like we start in German from the day one itself. So it is no English language coming in between. At times when required, we use English, but most of the times the communication is monolingual. So learn German in German itself.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. I'm currently doing A1 course from Institute. I want to do my master's in psychology simultaneously. I'm also interested in German language. How can German language help me with it? Well, if you're doing psychology, and if you must be aware, when you're learning psychology, there are many German psychologists which come in front of you while learning psychology, right? So Freud himself would be German. So if of course you want to go or pursue your higher education other than masters, so if you want to do doctoral studies, you can go to Germany and do your doctoral research if you know German. And I guess you could apply German would help you in that way if you want to go in Germany, or it would help you to become a translator using psychology and Germany together. So, if at all there are any documents related to that, then such kind of a translation or translation could be one of the possibility if you are interested. So, you need not do translation full time. You can take some projects or the other. And of course, studying in Germany is one of the options. So if one is postgraduate and B1, can one apply for MA in Germany? The basics is B2, so B2 would be the criteria. And MA in Germany again depends on which subject. So if it is MA in German, then you need to have, I guess, bachelor's in German, and then you can apply for MA in German. And so post graduation would be required in German. Can one do MA from university online after completion of advanced diploma? I guess there should be a possibility. We are also trying for the same. I hope university accepts it and be able to apply, give online instructions or online courses for uh, masters. But I will surely keep it in the mind and put it forth to the authorities if it is possible to have online MA.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
What is the difference between certification from Gyotha and Mumbai University? See, as the name suggests, Gyotha institution is worldwide and Mumbai University is in Mumbai. Of course, if on a certificate A1 and a stamp is put of a renowned institution, even our certificates are valid. But Gyotha Institute, you can see it is there in most of the major countries, even in small locations, Gyotha Institute is available. So Gyotha Institute certificate is anytime the first thing which people would look for as an international recognition. What are the minimum qualifications needed for being a translator in German as a foreign language? I would say B2. Because then one can understand the nuances in a language. The best would be C1 or C2 in order to get into translation. Because translation can be very challenging, one has to have knowledge, but the basic would be B2. B2, so the highest of B2.
May I ask?
Yeah, I'll just take this question and you may ask. What are the minimum qualifications needed to be? This is the last question, right? So, yes, Meena, you were having a question.
Uh, do the scientists come to German department of Mumbai University?
Mm, scientists from the science section, you mean to you're asking?
Yeah,
Science.
especially chemist because I am a chemist.
Uh, Not as such. We have not had any scientists, but those we have had a person who was doing physics and was interested to have a look at German department. But yes, they would come. But no, we generally are into literature and German studies. So it is mostly philosophy or history or such humanities subjects.
Thank you.
But we have, of course, students who are doing pharma and want to go to Germany. Uh, the completion of particular course depends upon the person's efficiency level. Yes, as you perform in the exam and if you perform well, then the grades appear on your certificate. So, of completion of that particular level. So, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So, it is always good to be on the higher side.
मैम हेलो मैम
Yeah.
आपने जैसे बोला कि मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन वो ट्रांसलेटर के लिए सो B2 आपने बोला कि B2 इज द बेस्ट सो B2 ही इम्पोर्टेंट है लाइक सब कोर्सेज के लिए
Yes, because see, in A1 level, if you're learning right now, which level are you learning right now, if I may ask?
A2 अभी होगा एग्जाम
Yeah. Okay, so
देने वाली हूँ A2.
so you must be understanding that what kind of A2. So it is like, see, even when we go to school, we start learning English from nursery, right? And we learn at that time ABCD, and then we learn nursery rhymes, or then we go on to some higher level languages. And if you compare standard 10th English and standard first English is different, right? It would be same for Marathi or Hindi. So in schools we learn from basics and then go on to higher level. Translations are the actual documents which one has to translate as a freelancer or a person who is working at a firm. So these are actual subject oriented translations which one need to do. And for that, one has to have basic good knowledge or good grounding for that language. And that one acquires, so grammar difficulty level, you can imagine at Arts Y right now, you must have completed the tildative or two more cases. So like in our INS, we deal only to nominative, accusative, dative, and then genitive comes later. More tenses are included or taught at the higher level. So as level increases, the higher level grammar is also taught. But while you get a translation document does not say that this is A1 translation or Bates Y translation, right? A medical document will be of higher level German. A technical document will be of higher level German. So one has to have that basic grounding in the language. So as I said earlier, one has to be at home in both the languages. दोनों languages, English हो या German हो या Hindi हो या Marathi हो, वो सभी अच्छी तरह से आनी चाहिए in order to do translations.
Yes, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. I studied A1 and A2 privately, but I don't have a certificate. I'm planning to give the exams through Girissha. Can I give it at any time? Yes, you can give it at any time. If you are wanting to just give a level check, then Girissha also has Einstufungstest online. So you can just check on your level, current level, which you have. If you have completed Arts Y, then you can do the Einstufungstest. And if it says your level is Arts Y, then well, you can of course go and give the exam directly. If it says your level is A1, then you can study harder. If you directly want to give Arts Y exam, you can just study hard, just try once more for Einstufungstest, and then go for Arts Y examination directly in order to give Goethe exams. Welcome.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Ajinkya.
Yeah, related to the email from Mumbai University, as I have already asked you, but still, is BA is also offline or online is another part. That's okay. But is BA is also mandatory for taking admission in MA?
No. B2 computer is mandatory.
Okay.
In German is not mandatory. I myself am BA in sociology and have done a master's directly after completing courses from Goethe Institute.
Okay. Just for changing the stream directly from commerce to arts, that's why I'm asking. BA is mandatory.
No. Okay. Because even for masters, the basics which are required, which is covered at various levels during BA, is completed during the semester for masters. So especially the topic like Europäische Kulturgeschichte, European cultural history, is taught for masters so that they have a good grounding about Germany and German culture.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Now there is one question from Avinash.
I have completed B1 from an institute. So can I just give Yuta exam directly B2 after B2 too? Yes, if you complete B2 too externally from any other institute, and if you feel that you are competent enough, then you can apply and directly give the B2 exam.
And Avni has also one question. For doing doctoral studies, we'll have to give all the exams.
For doing doctoral studies, will I have to give all the exams? Depends, Avni, in which topic you want to do your doctoral studies. So if the topic is not related to German, of course, you don't have to give all the exams. If you are, like this, the student Juhi has asked if one can give B2 exam directly. If you have completed levels elsewhere, and if you are directly applying for that particular level examination, that is also fine. You did not give all the exams. You can study externally on your own till C1 and then give directly C1 exam also. So that is not a criteria, nor Gyotha is asking that you should do all the exams with us only. So you can directly give exams also. For doing doctoral studies, now it depends first in which topic you want to do your PhD. So if it is related to German, then you have to do masters in German. Okay. So for again masters, you need not give the level exams, but you have to do masters in German. If it is not in German but any other subject, then you have to have masters in that subject in order to do PhD. Okay. And if you want to do masters in Germany in any other subject, then PhD in any other subject. So for example, if anyone wants to do, I'm just selecting astrophysics as a random subject. If one wants to do doctoral studies in astrophysics from Germany, you need not necessarily have German knowledge at all, because it depends on the university. If university is asking for A1 or A2 level of competency, then only that much is also okay. Because I have had quite a few friends who have done PhD from Germany. They have received Max Planck scholarships or Erasmus Mundus scholarships. They have been in Germany for quite a few years and are not at all learning German as a foreign language, but are doing PhD from Germany. But as I said, if you want to do PhD in German, then masters in German is required. Is your question answered, Avni?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome.
So I think there are no more questions. No, Atharva has one question.
Yeah.
German easier than French to learn?
Is German easier than French to learn? Well, I have learned French also. So I found, I would not say easier. German interested me more. Or time schedule was too cramped up to learn both the languages. So maybe I left French behind. But yeah, I have done myself French till B2. So it depends on personal choice, Atharva, which language you prefer. It is the personal orientation towards which language you have a pull. So no other person can decide for you if any language is easier or hard. Like if at least French and German have a common script, the Roman script. There are people who ask me also if Japanese is easier. I would not be able to say which language is easier. So it is a personal choice. You if you're learning German as well as French, you can decide for yourself which language you find comfortable and continue with both or continue with one, whichever you like the most.
Okay. Yeah, good, Atharva. So I request now my 12th standard student Tushar to give a vote of thanks.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. I, Tushar would like to conclude today's seminar by thanking Dr. Girissha Tilak, ma'am, on behalf of Sathaye College I'm sure today's seminar gave all of us a wider perspective and clarity on the German language and its career prospects. Vielen Dank, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Vielen Dank. I would love to extend my gratitude to everyone here and thanks to everyone and best wishes in your future venture.
Vielen Dank, Dikshaa.
Bitte.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Danke, ma'am.
Dankeschön, ma'am.
Dankeschön.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.